Hi, this is Joe Rollins, and here's a sample reading of a tarot question. The question is, who am I? And we've already laid the cards out, so we can see in this format that I use. This is the basic format here. And let's see if we can get a little better view for you. Alright, so in this reading, we have we're using this deck so you can understand they're labeled a little differently. This is the Golden Dawn Initiatory Tarot. Great artwork, really good artwork. Good meanings, good strong meanings. So we have the Knight of Swords, which would be the king in other decks. So the Knight of Swords, he's dissatisfied or ill-dignified, if you want to put it that way, upside down. Okay. Then that's the headship card. And then on the timeline, that's kind of the lifeline timeline of the individual. Then we have a Queen of Wands upside down. Then we have a Six of Clubs or Wands right side up. Then we have the Ten of Swords right side up. The Queen of Swords upside down, dignified. And then we have the Knight or King of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles right side up. Then we have on the foundation row, that's the bottom row. See if we can get a little better angle here. We have the Ten of Pentacles on the left, and on the right we have the Nine of Wands. Now this is read a little differently than your Celtic Cross and others, so it works kind of like this. The reading is, and the headship is a dissatisfied kingdom. That would be shown here. Dissatisfied kingdom with this upside down knight. Now it doesn't mean the opposite. I'll explain more of my readings as we go, but just because it's upside down does not mean opposite. Quite often it's diminished or muted. Depends on what cards it's with. So that's a headship card, which is pretty powerful. That's basically stating who's on top or what's driving the show. Okay, so the ill-fated Knight of Swords, dissatisfied kingdom. There's problems in decision, solid decision making. That type of thing would be shown here. Now let's come on down to the timeline, and this is it starts off from, it goes from left to right, but it's broken in three primary pieces. We have the pair, this pair here of the Queen and the ill-fated Queen of Wands and the Six of Wands paired with the sword is separate. He's kind of the pivot card, and then on the right, then we have this pair of the Queen of Swords and the King of Pentacles. That's a very interesting combination since she was upside down. So let's take a look at this. So this first pair would show that there's internal struggle. There's internal struggle. Something is preventing me from getting going. There's a internal struggle of some kind. So we see that the Six of Wands is kind of a reward. He has a reward that he's showing, and the Queen of Wands is ill-fated. So this masterful thing is not being able to get launched, and that's kind of seen there in that pair. Then we have the next one, and that is the tearing down of the house. What would be even more amazing if this Ten of Swords were paired up with, say, something like oh goodness, there could be a number of them, but the Kingdom coming down, that would be pretty bad. This is bad enough as it is, since this is a center card, kind of like the Spine. Um, so you see there's the headship, the spine, and then the root or foundation. And having this Ten of Swords and his center pillar is kind of crumbling. It's falling apart, which kind of matches with the Queen over here and getting started. So the foundation is just not strong in this, or not being able to be strengthened. So let's move over here to the right side. This is kind of the finality or the direction it's going at its current incarnation. So there's a sharp decision concerning long-term success. And I wrote down there's cut off from success and cut off from being successful. So you see the Queen has basically neutered the King. So this Queen of Swords has neutered the King of Pentacles. So she's basically castrated him from being successful, from being a good king, and having that great reward for herself and the kingdom. So she's ill-fated queen. And then again, matched up. This whole row is perfectly lined up to show failure. There is failure in the kingdom. So that current state of me is very fitting for what I'm going through. Very, very fitting. And let's take a look at my foundation. Remember the question was, who am I? So there's the question, who am I? And you can see where this was done. So the last set of cards here is the overall foundation of this this question. The foundation is that the rewards are basically being burned up. That's the first thing I saw, was that the nines. It's a 9. It's wands. It's upside down. It's the culmination of wands, dissatisfied. So the kingdom is definitely falling apart right there, which kind of takes away from the pentacles. Again, here's a wonderful pentacles, doing a good job. He's doing things right. He's getting a great reward with all his pentacles. And like the king over here, which is the knight, he's doing a great job. He's getting rewards, but there's someone in here destroying him. This is a great reward. This one is, look at that. He's doing good work, getting a reward, showing this great job. It's being torn down, down by the queen. The center pillar is falling apart. And then over here, the queen. So there's 2 queens upside down on this row, and they're both tearing up the card that they're with. That's very sad. And then we have here this 9 that's tearing up, or that's tearing down the relationship of the 10 of Pentacles. This 9 of Wands. It's pretty dissatisfied setup. And again, it kind of goes with what I've been experiencing. Some pretty hard troubles getting something launched, and it might not be the right place and might not be the right time. So let's go ahead and put these up here, and you can see what I wrote, and it's pretty much what I told you. So we'll take these over here and see if we can get a good shot of that. And so the who am I? There's a question. You see that it was just a little bit ago that I did it. In dissatisfied kingdom, internal struggle causing getting going. There's getting going on the building of things. The tearing down the house and the central pillar. Sharp decisions concerning long-term success. I'm being cut off from success. Cut off from being successful. Foundation and reward. My foundation and rewards are being burned up, and my overall status is of struggle. So right now might not be the great time to launch this wonderful thing. So anyway, again, this is Joe Rollins, and there's my reading. So one of my own for myself, so you can see how it's done. Thanks, and have a great day.